I have to be honest, they sat me at a table with Alan Stein and they asked me to depart words of wisdom upon you. I think they chose the wrong person. But I want to introduce myself. My name is Michael Tetterton. I'm the owner and founder of Creative Lodging Solutions here in Lexington. We opened in 2002, and for 10 years running through the end of this year, we'll have experienced 65% compound annual growth each and every year. We just hired our 100th employee, and I stand before you today. We're a $118 million company. I think our biggest challenge that we have in our company, because we're in a very unique niche business, is having operations keep up with sales. We learned how to do sales very well, and our growth rate shows that. But I am probably more fearful of anything that we do that will implode upon ourselves based on our rapid sales growth. So I would tell you as a departing or a part of the wisdom that I have learned over the years, that if you don't stay ahead of the curve and you don't stay ahead of your business and not look at the next 6 months or the next year, but start looking 2 and 3 years out, you'll find yourself in trouble. We're now having to change and adapt way too often because we didn't think of what life might be like at $118 million. I can tell you this, the single thing I know today that I didn't know when I started, that I wish I had known, I can wrap up in just one segment, and that is Commerce Lexington, Bob Quick and his team. I guess to say that I don't like government meddling in my business is an understatement. Let me tell you the truth. I hate government doing anything in my business. And to prove that point, and to prove the government's point that they were in my business, last year about this time I found out that I was a $198,000 unintended consequence with the Department of Revenue in the state of Kentucky based on a law that passed in 2006. Not knowing that, we got quite a shock last year, and this threatened the very existence of our business. We spent untold thousands of dollars trying to make our case and fight our way through the system, and we spent a year. And in desperation and kind of frustration, after I'd called all my senators and congressmen and had made visits and done everything we could, I called Bob. Somebody suggested I ought to give Bob a call and see if these guys could help. If I have 100 jobs and they're threatened, it's kind of important to Commerce Lexington that we survive. Well, Bob has a friend called Luther. Most people know Luther here. What I didn't know is Luther has a friend. It's called the governor. And all of a sudden, within a week, we had a whole lot of attention on our problem, and I was no longer an unintended consequence. And for that, I want to thank Commerce Lexington, Bob and his entire team, and Luther for what they did. And so one other small piece of wisdom that I'd like to depart upon you is that it really doesn't matter what kind of challenge you're up against in a business. These guys are here to help, and I didn't realize that. I spent about $65,000, $70,000 trying to fight it, and boy, I tell you, I wish I had made that phone call a year earlier. But they're really advocates for us, and I'm just not sure we use them the way we should use them, and I encourage you to do that. If I had any advice to small businesses that are starting out, entrepreneurs that are out there, I'll give you the one that I live by, and that is, if you're wired up with the entrepreneur DNA, if you've got that gene in you, and that's that southern part, in you, if it's in you, if you think in your gut you can do it, don't let all the naysayers sitting on the sideline tell you you can't do it. Everybody in this room most of the people in this room are a result of that resilience and that stick-to-itiveness that we did, the staying up late, the maxing the credit card out to make payroll, those things that we all know we do every week or every month if it's required of us. And don't let the people sitting on the sidelines tell you you can't do it, because you can. Everybody in this room can achieve a higher level than you ever thought. We spent our first year in business trying to reach, we thought. Now, you ever have those thoughts like you did as a kid? God, if you'll just give me this one thing, I'll never ask for anything else. Now, the biggest thing we could see in our business is we wanted to hit $5 million. Man, if we could hit $5 million, I could pay for my infrastructure, I'd be profitable, life would be good. God, I'll never ask for anything else. Last month, we did $8 million in 31 days. So I'm here to tell you it can be done. If you ever dream, go for it. Just go, don't hold back. I'll tell you, if you're out there, when you make it, invest in technology and measure everything you do. Put metrics against every single thing. If you're not in business, put metrics against stuff in your life. Set your goal, measure it, and then see how you do against your goal. And if you have to alter it then. They asked that I describe what's in our future at Creative Lodging. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure right now. I own 14 small businesses, and I just sold my first one. I don't know how to sell businesses, obviously. I just know how to create them. But I sold the first one that we've ever sold, and it closed last week, and I've got 3 proposals on my desk to start another one. So I'm not sure what the future holds, but it will be another small business, I can tell you that. And the last thing I tell you before I leave is if you're working for a company, and I really do mean this, if you're working for another company or you are a company in business or the entrepreneur of the year, God, I wish I was 35 again, have a purpose. Make sure you're working for a company that has a purpose. Stand for something in life. You know, life's too short. Don't just settle. Don't settle for anything. Make sure you work for a company. And if you are a business owner, create a purpose. Why are you here? Why are you doing it? Most of us could go out and earn the same amount of money or more by working for another company. So why do we do it? That's a big onion to peel back to figure out the truth of it. Why we do it, our purpose is we create profitable businesses that are successful so that we can be revolutionary in our generosity according to biblical principles. We don't require anybody in our employees or in any of our companies to follow it. That's just why I'm in business. And there's a struggle we have internally trying to figure out when do you stop growing the company and investing your money in the company, and when do you actually honor that being revolutionary part? But that's a balance that we all have to work with. So anyway, I want to congratulate the nominees this year, the 3 winners that we just saw, and the upcoming Small Business of the Year, and tell you thank you. It was an incredible honor for us to have that title in the past year. Thank you.